Hi everyone. In this video, we will learn the basic difference between normal polling, long polling, and SSE, like server sent events, and WebSocket IO. So, why do we need them? We make applications in which the core problem is that browser want real-time updates from the server. In like normal chat applications where people connect and they want just what is the message typed in real time in their phone or where in form of notifications or chats or live dashboards. So to understand, let's see one by one. First thing is that when HTTP request is made, so request goes, then response sent. After sending request, the connection is closed. So we need techniques to simulate real-time communication. Now, how we will do that? So let's start by basic first. The first basic thing is polling. This is the method to enable real-time communication. It is the very slow, the key idea behind is that client keeps asking server again and again, and server sent requests wherever it is ready. So you see, if we again and again making request to this server, it will create a lot of kind of pressure on the resources, like your front end continuously asking for the data, and client process it. So client request make request to server send response. Client again make request after 2 seconds. So you see, after every 2 second or every defined time frame, it is continuously asking for the response. uh, this is There are some pros and cons of this. The pros are that it is easy to implement, and it works everywhere, but cons associated with this are like it wastes our resources, unnecessary requests are made, and it is not good for truly real time. Like sometimes you are making request in after 10 seconds, so after 10 seconds it doesn't go in real. The second method comes, which is the improved version of polling, is long polling. Now in this polling, client sends the requests, server waits until data is available, so client has to wait for that. It is very simple. Like client is asking for data, server is waiting there for data to be collected, and then it sends back. Now again, here our client is waiting. This is different from the previous one. Like flow client requests, server holds that requests at its own. When server has completed its procedure, when data has come to the backend, so it responds, and client immediately requests again. So you see, client immediately requests after the first result has come. It again immediately makes. Why it immediately makes? Because to stay connected with the backend. We know that in HTTP, connection is closed after response is get. Now, pros of this method are like this is less waste than polling. Like it is better than polling, and it is near real time. Like it depends on our implementation, that how we implement it, but it is almost real. Now cons associated with this is that still repeated connections, we have to make a connection again and again. So this is cons of that. Now server load can increase. The third method comes is server sent events. This is different from previous both. Like server continuously sends updates to the client over one connection. Now, in normal client server communication, one request, one response. But in this particular server sent events, server keeps sending data continuously. Here, example is given like const event source equal to new event. So this particular object is created for this class, and this on message method continuously trigger events to send in the front end. Now this data can be seen in front end. Don't worry, we'll understand this user through code in ahead. Now pros of this method is it provides real-time updates. It has only one connection, like we don't make connection again and again. Simple compared to WebSocket. So WebSocket is relatively advanced. We require libraries for that, but it is simple to that. Now cons of this method is only server to client, it's one way, it is not two-way communication. Like after making requests, server continuously trigger, not client. So not for good for it, it is not good for chat apps in which two-way communication is required. Now the most powerful WebSocket. It is a full duplex connection. Both client, both sides can send anytime. Client to server, server to client, continuous connection. Uh, to make this connection, we require this WebSocket class instance. So after making that, we again use socket.onMessage method rather than that previous, and this is sent to the client side. So it is truly real time and it is bidirectional. It is best for chat applications, gaming, because in these applications we require really very minute. We have very minute time to get data. But the cons is that there is very complex setup. Like we have to implement a lot of things in order to implement this socket.io, and we need to install some external libraries like socket.io. Now comes at the conclusion, which is final conclusion. Polling, real time, no. Connection, many, and direction, client to server. And complexity, that polling is easy. Long polling, real time, almost. Connection, many, and direction is again client to server. It is complexity, medium. Server sent events, it is real time. Yes, of course, it is real time. Then connection is one way connection, and in this the direction is from server to client and complexity is medium. Now comes WebSocket. This WebSocket has connection, it is very fast, real time, like you see here. Direction from server to client, client to server, both, but complexity in its implementation. So we will see its implementation ahead. Hi everyone, in this video I will explain you how polling works. Polling is important concept when we are designing things like notification system and other things in which real-time communication is needed. So for that, I am going to explain you using this project. First, you see there is a blank screen, uh, and if I send any message, and you see the our sender is sender A, hi B. Now this message will be sent to B. So if I open B and I'll send back hello A. Now this message will go to A. You see guys, this particular real-time communication taking some time in order to deliver message. Now why we need it? We need it in complex applications. There first we need to understand how polling works. Then we will go to advanced things like WebSocket and long polling. So I will first explain its code, like how it works. Then I'll again come back here. So you see there are two directories in this project. First is backend and second is frontend. So I will explain backend directory. The main folder is server.js. Everything is here. Our whole code is here. In this particular, I have installed two libraries like Express and Course. Then I have created its instance of Express. I have enabled Course middleware. Then I have used express.json for body parsing. Then we have notifications array. After that, there is a code for API calling. When from frontend we will send notification, so it will come at this endpoint and it will extract message and sender of the frontend, like whether it's A or B. Then it will make an object of notification and it will push that in notifications array and it will send back the response from here. Now this is the get endpoint of all the notifications. Uh, this particular endpoint will be called from the front end in every 6 seconds. This will make sure that all the updates in real time gets rendered to the user's dashboard, user's front end, so that within 6 seconds. Okay, now we see that our port is running at port 5000. Now we come to the front end part. In front end, there is mainly one particular component, that is app.js. This is the front end dashboard, front end user. In this, you see there is a import of React user state and user effect component, which will help us to call API again and again. We have three main states like notifications, message, and sender that we will update through our front end. Now this use effect will run once the front end is rendered. Now you see there is interval of 6 seconds, like in every 6 seconds it will call to the backend and get latest notifications for both front end user and sender and receiver. Now the clear interval. This particular function send notification will send the uh, latest created message to the backend. This will set it to null after sending. This is the front end code of our application, and it's pretty simple. There is nothing complex in it. We have two options to select, sender or sender A or sender B. Here we write message. This is input. Now this button will trigger send notification function that we see earlier. Now when this send notification function will run, it will take message and the sender as input, and it will post to the backend. Now it goes to backend. On the backend, it is stored in the notifications array. Now let's see it in live. Here you see we have already sent two messages, hi B, hi hello A. Now how it works? First I will refresh it. Now it will now you see here it has fetched successfully hi B, hi A, the initial message that we sent. Now in console, if I will show you, see it is calling fetched in every 6 seconds. If you count 1 2 3, 1 2 3 4 5 6, you see guys, in every second it is fetching the latest notifications. Now as I send any message, whether from A or from B, like if A is sending hi B, how are you, how are you, so when I send it, it will see the recently fetched, and it will display it here. So this is how work. Now let's understand how long polling works. To understand that, first let me show you the code of my backend and frontend. So this is mainly the code of my backend. This is my server.js file. Here if you see, after our libraries and making this instance, there is notifications array which is empty. Now there is one endpoint to post message to the backend. So this is the post. Now what is different from previous is that in previous, after posting, we were somewhere here calling some APIs, but here we are just pushing that into our notifications array, not doing anything else. Now the second endpoint is get endpoint. Now this is very interesting. When the user from frontend sends get notifications request, so first it sees whether response is sent or not. Now it creates an interval. It means after every 1 second, the server checks whether the new data has come or not. If the data has come, it means notification.length array is greater than 0. And if data has come, then if we not send request, so this whole condition becomes true, and in response we send the data in notifications, and then we make is response sent true, and we clear this interval. Now after 30 seconds of this interval, it permanently closes. So why this happens and how it is different from the previous one? From the front end code, if we go and if you analyze very carefully, see there is a first this use effect. So this runs when first time our component is rendered. Now inside this there is a fetch notification function. This function is immediately called after render. So after this, when we call this function, what happens is it tries to fetch notifications from the backend, and it waits here. This is very important concept. Like in long chaining, long polling, it waits here for backend to respond. When data, if in the response, if data dot length greater than 0, which means backend has sent the data, so it sets inside the notifications and it is shown in the front end. After that, it immediately calls again. This is very important. It immediately calls again. This makes different from the normal polling. So I will show you it how it works in code. First, I will start my backend. So I will just start it. I will refresh my front end. Now you see there is nothing in this array. It's first time rendered only. My front end is only one time rendered. So that is shown here. Now here, if you see very carefully, that our console log, it is repeatedly showing our log that get notifications is being called. It means our front end is continuously calling this get notifications here. Like you see that this fetch notification function is being called after every 2 seconds. Now why it repeatedly makes this request? Because if you see in the backend, see once we get this request from the front end that send me data, but there is no data here, and if there is no data, so what runs is only outer interval, not this inner function, because there is no data right now. So it is repeatedly making requests and waiting after each request. Now if we try to run it, like sender A is sending something like hi B, so you see on every click it is rendering again, and when I send it, so it is shown here. Now if B responds, so how will it respond? Hello A. On each respond, it is rendering again. It means it is again and again calling this backend to fetch data. But on the backend, it takes some time to resolve the query that is here, like what he wants to get. Now here there is a mix of console log get notifications, which is this outside where it was being called, and sending response inside set interval. So you see it is continuously running, like each time server is front end requesting and backend responding. Front end is requesting and backend is sending. Now why we are doing this, like again and again calling? Because this is HTTP request. Now HTTP request gets closed once the response is sent. So to establish that connection and to make it remain, we again and again send requests that allows it to stay connected. This is done. Now let me stop it.